just slightly wide. At that pace, no chance of going. And what's more for Higgins, the red is over the middle.
One.
Again, very unusual, poor cue ball control. I think, Phil, both these players, the first session, they know how important it is to try and get a lead going into tonight. And that's just making them just a little bit edgy. A long way out in that effort.
Ronnie O'Sullivan.
Relieved John Higgins comes to the table. I expect Ronnie to only score 1 point from that leave. Black available to left corner.
One.
Now that would not have gone here on Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday. Since the table's been recovered, it's playing slightly easier.
Yeah, they weren't going in off the first knuckle. There's a couple this session.
8.
I've done that. So yeah, the new cloth makes all the difference.
Nine. John Higgins, 9.
I must admit, Phil, I didn't expect to see any blacks off the spot miss today, the way these players have been playing up to this final.
Well, I think there was some noise in the crowd there because immediately he missed it, Higgins looked back, and so did the referee Brendan Moore.
One.
Again, that's just plain sloppy. I still expect him to get the red in
3.
a little bit. It's playing into his hands. He'll be going into the reds, so should he pot the red, he'll be opening the bunch. I certainly want it to be easier on this.
Ronnie O'Sullivan, 3.
This is a little like frame 4 where they both missed from short range on multiple occasions before O'Sullivan eventually got in with 88. This time it's Higgins with the reprieve. Totally unexpected.
1. Thanks. Yep. 1. Eight. 9.
These two have pretty similar strike rates in finals. O'Sullivan's won 58 pro titles from 87 finals. Higgins 42 from 73 finals. But Higgins has won his most recent final
16.
1 week ago in Guangzhou, China, whereas O'Sullivan lost his 9-8 to Judd Trump from 8-6 up in the European Masters in Romania last month.
17. $24. $25.
Just 90 minutes played.
$30. $31. $38.
As I said, 90 minutes played, but this is end-to-end stuff. You could see it going to extra time and then penalties.
Yeah, I think this will be closer than last night's game at Wembley, Phil.
46.
How nice of you to bring it up.
$47.
If all three reds are on the pink or potable to left corner,
Yellow ball.
play off two cushions here. Maybe he's got a thick enough angle just to stun off one. Yeah, the two cushion shot is the right way to go. Just play for an area, that cue ball, guaranteed to be on one.
49.
So,
50.
no centuries yet. The pattern of most frames has been 2 or 3 mistakes and then someone clinches it in one visit. So, you could say, mistakes being made, just don't be the one to make the last one.
$57.
You've played these two on the big occasion, on countless occasions. I suppose it clears the mind when you're playing them. You just have to play well. It's as simple as that.
$65. John Higgins, 65, and the frame.
Again, no century, but more than sufficient to win the frame. Now Sullivan had his chances, but it's Higgins who pounced. The name of Ronnie O'Sullivan proudly engraved on the Champion of Champions trophy, not once but twice, And if he wins today, it would be 12 consecutive matches won in this tournament because he didn't play last year. But what a task.
Thank you, frame 8. Ronnie O'Sullivan to break.
The red coming back up the table needs cover with the green. He hasn't got it.
Difficult to see from this position if he's got the angle just to run down for the black to the right corner. Maybe stunning for the black to the left corner.
One
shot. Top red of the 3 will go to the same pocket. And there you see it there. No, you're kidding me.
John Higgins 1.
Well, by my reckoning, that's the 4th black he's missed off the spot in this session.
Well, I know for that must be more than he's missed in the rest of the tournament, surely. And John Higgins, probably, if he's not the most, one of the most experienced players on the circuit. But maybe even he was sensing the lead going into tonight's session there. So he wins this frame, guaranteed in front.
Nine. $40. Yep. $50.
The back of the pack there was quite flat, so had to really get into the cue ball and
22.
hit it sweetly, which he did. Lovely split.
Yeah, that's one of the best shots he's played today. A lot of people watching might think that's just you just pot the black and send the cue ball into the pack. Just any way, but that was just so well controlled.
30. 31. $38. $39. 44.
One big difference between these two now, the average shot time. 22 seconds for Higgins, decent. 18 for O'Sullivan.
45.
Yeah, I think at times last night when Ronnie hit that 3 or 4 frame stretch, he was down to 13 or 14 because he was basically in perfect position every shot. He's not had that cue ball in a string today. That's why
52.
the pace, albeit still very quick, it's not his
53.
ultimate speed. So there's another frame with a 60 plus break. These two might not be at their ultimate best, but still
60.
8 frames, every frame to be won, but at least a 60 is still top snooker.
$61.
Yes, and that recurring pattern, one of them making an unexpected mistake early on and being punished for it. Oh dear me.
Ronnie O'Sullivan, 61.
That was a mile away.
Well, there was a big deceleration of the cue there, and could this be the first turning point in this match?
One.
And John Higgins is on top form. I think he's definitely one of the players you'd put your house on to clear up from 60 behind. It was his trademark. But that is a shocker.
8.
He's definitely top 3 in the world of all time at doubles, Phil, without a doubt. Maybe even the best. I was somewhere around the 128 mark.
16.
Yes, I once
70.
wrote a coaching book with Stephen, and when I asked him the question, how do you play doubles, he said, I don't know.
Yeah, taking opportunities to get the more awkward red because he had the perfect angle in the black. So
24.
big shot this. I'm going to try and get that cue ball away from the cushion a little bit.
John Higgins, 24.
I don't know if that reaction is just because it was such a bad shot, or did he get a slightly bad contact?
I'm convinced it was a kick. The balls just seemed to jump in the air.
Whatever. He's let O'Sullivan off the hook.
Just wondering here if there's a possibility of a potting guide past the blue to knock in the red closest to pink. little too thin for that, but the safety is achieved. I know Sullivan would be resting a lot easier if a couple of colours were safe.
Oops. Foul. John Higgins 4.
Now then.
Yeah, he's trying his best to give this frame away. Sullivan. I think John can get the cue ball in between red and black. Well, he's refusing it. This does surprise me. He wishes he took it on now.
One. 33 in front, O'Sullivan, so any colour apart from the yellow will leave Higgins needing a snooker.
"23 years. Lovers of stats may like to know that their personal head-to-head stands at 28 to O'Sullivan, 23 to Higgins. But this is all about the here and now,
Thank
in
you,
front
ladies
of a
and
full
gentlemen. The
house
first frame.
at the Ricoh Arena,
John
Coventry.
Higgins to break.
O'Sullivan made 3 centuries in a terrific performance last night in beating Mark Allen 6-2. Allen winning his 2 frames with the aid of centuries. Not a great attempt at his initial long red though, actually hit it the wrong side.
What an atmosphere in the Ricoh Arena, packed to the rafters.
Extra seating installed.
always watch players' eyes as they walking in the arena. Ronnie O'Sullivan looked very serious. He knows he's got a job in his hands. You just sense there. There'll be full concentration required for Ronnie all day long if he's going to prevail. Because we know the form that John Higgins is back in. He's in a purple patch right now.
Yes, winner of the £200,000 first prize in an invitation event in Guangzhou, China last week. He's nurdled that up to £250,000 for the fortnight by reaching this final, and if he can win, he'll double that 50,000 to 100,000.
Seven.
Yeah, just stretching in that red has caused him to land wrong side of the blue. Fortunately has that red in close proximity to left corner, so it's just drop it in. For a player of John's capabilities, it's really straightforward mid-distance red. These are the important shots for players. It's a type of shot I call a 40 or a 50 point shot. This, if he gets it, lands on the blue, he's set fair to win the frame. These are the shots that win matches. So back in decent position. If he can land in one of those two reds, the one just above the black or the one just left of it, I think they both pass. Looks a natural angle to drop the blue in. That's what he's coming round to have a look at. I'd love to be on the one left of the black. That is absolutely perfect.
$80. $90. $26. $27.
In early season, almost with his B game, John Higgins reached 3 consecutive quarter-finals on the tour. Then something seemed to happen, and he slid into his best form.
34. $35.
Just half a loose
42.
shot from John. Player Cannon playing the red to left corner. Position's not certain. I think the pink will go to right corner, but will probably be going up through the gap for blue or bulk colour. Just trusting a bit to luck here, playing into an area. Oh, the perfect result.
43.
not just perfect on the blue, but he's opened all the reds to better positions.
48.
It'll be a major surprise if he doesn't clinch the frame at this visit.
49. Second on, please.
The referee, Brendan Moore, asking Higgins to wait for a second or two while he respots the pink precisely. And because there is no spot, it is a more delicate operation, getting it in exactly the right place than it
55.
otherwise would be.
Small problem here, John. He'd probably rather come back for the blue. He'd be guaranteed on something. But I think he's risking playing for the black. If he does, he has to screw. Or rather stun.
56.
Make sure he's on it. So he's made a good job of that. But although it's a black, he'll knock in 99 times out of 100. It could be missed. Don't expect him to.
If he'd needed the two reds together, he would have played that slightly more firmly to open them. But just in case he missed
64.
the black, he decided to leave them close together.
$69. $70.
So Higgins already assured of this opening frame.
And the standard of today's game is incredible, isn't it? When you consider the first 4 years in the history of the Masters, there wasn't even one century break.
75.
It seems ridiculous. Centuries galore all week long there's been.
John Higgins, 75.
Well,
and the first break.
I thought that Higgins' 643rd career century was coming up there, but he's perfectly content with the run of 75, which gives him a 1-0 lead. The Champion of Champions trophy,
Ronnie O'Sullivan to break.
which Ronnie O'Sullivan has won on both occasions that he entered the event. Didn't enter last year.
Just going back to that long red that Ronnie missed in the first frame, I think that could be the difference in this match. As I said in the studio, that the respect they have for one another. I think there's a difference when Ronnie plays John. He knows that he has to take every opportunity he gets. I say that because he knows that through the course of a 19-frame match, John Higgins' safety is always going to be watertight, and it puts pressure on the O'Sullivan long game. It'll be interesting to see it as the match develops, what Ronnie's long ball stats are.
Well, two of O'Sullivan's centuries last evening arose from pots to middle which Mark Allen missed and left O'Sullivan right in. there's a sample of Higgins' safety.
Yeah, it's a statement of intent. Quite prepared to open the reds up far and wide. That's sending a little message to Ronnie that he's not remotely frightened of him. Prepared to get the balls open quickly. More pressure on the O'Sullivan safety game.
Has left a red to right corner.
One.
Wasn't interested in the black. Didn't want to play the pot from that distance slowly enough for pink to middle. Blue perfectly alright.
Six.
Yeah, won't be interested in the pink just yet. John will be working off the blue in the hope that he can eventually get those reds around the pink spot. Get that pink spot free.
7. Twelve. Thirty. $90.
That's finished awkwardly. Higgins was concentrating on creating some room around the pink spot. It was finished almost up against the pink.
Yeah, and he's going to do what John Higgins does well. Take his medicine, back up behind the green, keep the pressure on.
John Higgins 90.
And trying to line up the cue ball with that safety, with the blue and the red nearest the left corner. Got them tight on the ball cushion. What a pot that was.
It sure was. The red barely went. Fantastic shot. Unlucky not to finish on the green. So it's just a little tuck in. And this won't be easy to escape from.
Ronnie O'Sullivan 1. Touching ball.
Yes, but hasn't managed to leave the cue ball safe in that cluster to which he was playing.
1. Seven. 8. 14.
Yeah, not bad, but be given this 100% concentration, a little cut back. These are missable. Oh, great shot.
15.
And now he has the frame opened up.
Twenty-one. 22. 28.
'There's a real seriousness, I said earlier, in those eyes of Ronnie. You just get the feeling he's completely up for this.
29.
Relishing the battle.
That's a clever shot. Played for the Reds to left middle, and it just opens everything up. Just about straight enough to
34.
just push the other one into open play as well. Good thinking that.
35.
He's checking the scoreboard, the lead 23, another 3 Reds, 3 Pinks.
41.
And he'll be 44 in front, so key here is not mess with the blue. It's important he stays on the pink here.
42. 48. 49. 55.
One more red-pink, and Higgins would need a snooker.
56. 62. 63.
the rest of the frame is surely academic, but let's see if O'Sullivan can develop this last red. The pink always was in the way by that
68.
route.
Ronnie O'Sullivan 68 and the frame.
First frame, Higgins 75 break. Second frame, O'Sullivan 68 break. 1-all.
Thank you to third frame. John Higgins to break.
Higgins didn't intend to bring the end red down past the blue spot, but it looks as if he's been saved by the brown.
As long as he gets close to the pot, he won't get the double kiss. That's the key to this. Like that. That's a very good shot.
An immaculate safety shot. O'Sullivan content to play just a containing safety. If he tried to return the cue ball to the ball cushion, it could have gone wrong.
Yeah, John just sending the cue ball into the top right corner. It's important he gets close to the baulk cushion, because if he leaves the cue ball off, Ronnie could maybe play a excuse me, a deep screw in the red to the right corner, but at least he's made it awkward bridging for a right-hander.
No immediate damage.
John disappointed with that. Had to cover the red with the green now. And you see it's dead straight. Having a go at this, can play it with a fair degree of safety in mind as well. Red will stay down there should he miss it.
Which he has. And blue and pink are now covering the red, which rebounded to the brink of the left corner.
can't get through to the potting angle here, John, so he's just going to buy himself another shot. Cue ball in the corner. I think this red might pass the yellow pocket though. If it does, Ronnie will play it. A fair bit to travel, but probably knock this in, I would say, about 7 or 8 times out of 10 normally.
Well,
3.
he's got to be counted unlucky not to be on the red nearest the left corner. At that distance to hit the pink just like that, that was the only way he could not be on it.
Yeah, it was unlucky, Clive. He could have, left the cue ball somewhere up top side of the blue spot, but he was playing for a choice of 3 or 4 reds, causing him to flirt with the pink. Problem is now playing the safety into bulk. The only way he's going to cover that, you'd think, is get the cue ball somewhere around the green pocket. So nothing certain about this one. That's why he's taking his time over it. That's what he's looking at now, and up beside the green pocket he'd cover it, but it brings a few things into play. Brings in the in-off. I actually think he's playing for a re-rack the way he's played that shot.
Ronnie O'Sullivan, 3.
Should get sorted out though. John will white in the corner. Ronnie will release that red, the rogue red over the left black pocket.
Nice.
It's a decent chance this for John. Figure of 8 safety in behind the brown. He may in fact just play it on the thin side and hope to get in. He's going the other way. Trying to use the yellow.
Higgins always knew there wasn't much of a gap between yellow and blue at that angle, but he seems to have found it. Chance for Higgins though from distance. Can he get round behind the back of the black and the adjacent reds?
Good pot, not the worst kiss in the yellow. Decent little angle. Just not sure how much pace he can inject into it to get back for the reds.
Three. 4.
Will the pink respot? Can't quite see it from here. I think John would be quite satisfied to see it go on the brown spot when he pots it. The reds just around the pink spot area are all sitting diagonally with each other, which means they all pass. So he'll be quite content to work off the blue for the time being.
Eleven. Sixteen. 17. 22.
Good thing about this shot, you can quite deliberately even land a little bit too high
23.
in the blue and he would have the pink in reserve, but that's perfect. So as I say, just very content to work off this blue, picking off the reds. He's got the cue ball in a string so far this contribution. Nice and low again.
$28. 29. 34. 35.
Now that he's reaching the point of running out of easy reds, will he risk disturbing them? Decided to wait. Once again, played that to the inch, low in the red, so
40.
once again, most top side of the blue. This time he will be disturbing them. No, perfect again.
41.
I think the red, just the second to the left, would be the one he'd love to cannon here. Just have a look at that. Just the second one left the picture. That's what he'll be chasing. Oh, perfect.
$46. 47.
That was the perfect opportunity to get the pink into play and back on its own spot.
Tell you what, if you'd written a script about how to go about this break,
53.
John Higgins has carried it out to the letter. This has been surgical with a cue ball
54.
on a string. Everything's hitting the back of the pocket, everything in working order. vintage John Higgins this is.
Yep. 60.
57 in front. So this is frame ball, barring snookers.
You got it? Yep. Yes. 61. $66. 67.
Beautifully crafted. This break has been largely with blues, unassisted by the black.
$73. 74.
This little shot will give us the first indication of how tight pockets are playing.
John Higgins, 74, and the front.
John Higgins regains the lead at 2-1 with a break of 74.
Thank you, frame 4. Ronnie O'Sullivan to break.
Big target this, the 2 cushion get out and return to bulk. 4 reds he could contact.
Not interested in the very risky long red.
Yeah, John will be playing the red right, near the right side cushion here. He can't get the double kiss because the pot's not straight enough, so there's no double kiss on, no risk. I completely mishit it and he's held his hand up there. Don't know whether the cue ball might have drifted off, but he's gotten away with it.
Not as close to the ball cushion as perhaps it should have been. No impediment to easy cueing for Higgins. And so almost no chance of Higgins making a mistake. Didn't mean to send the red into the green, although he's got a better cue ball this time.
Yeah, it's almost worked in his favour, but John can, if he'll still play the shot that he played the last visit to the table. Only problem with it, I see the one that's straight in the line down to the 1 second right of picture. He doesn't really want to push that in and disturb red and black. There's also an in off, so he's just pushing this red